And I guess to start off with preparing for this discussion today, I was practicing on my 3-year-old son, and I thought I'd ask him what's his favourite games that he plays on his iPad. And to my astonishment, he reeled off about 4 or 5 games. So I think the next generation of gamers is well placed to come through. But to start with, I might throw to you, Karim. So obviously, Nielsen Sports is heavily involved in the gaming industry and tracking the things around the numbers. From a commercial perspective, what does Nielsen Sports think about esports and the investment opportunities for brands?
Right. I think in terms of investing from a brand's perspective, the short answer is yes. There is a lot of attention there from what we've been seeing, and I think overall in terms of the elements or objectives of any partnership, be it sports or traditional sports as well, it could be one of probably 6 or 7 objectives in total. One of them being brand visibility, brand awareness, product adoption, new target markets, new target segments or fans, or basically any type of positioning. And I feel like with esports, you've got visibility when you have the time and you have the millions of hours watched, and you also have a very interesting profile of fans that you can tap into. So overall, the answer is yes, but again, as the market is starting to mature, the ecosystem is starting to form, and everyone is starting to understand a bit more about return and return on investment. We urge obviously brands to start planning well for that entry. Right now, obviously, we are rushing into things a little bit because it's still exciting, it's still fresh, it's still raw. So kind of like the sports sponsorships in 80s and 90s, for example. And now it's starting to really mature. So we really start to need to know what are our objectives, what are we looking to get out of this partnership in order to really make sure that we're hitting the right ROI targets.
Okay, excellent. You kind of mentioned that the market is starting to mature. And obviously, at Nielsen, you have been tracking the growth of esports and gaming for a number of years now. Are there any interesting trends or patterns that you're starting to see emerge in kind of the modern day with relation to kind of the things like engagement patterns, demographics, or just general fan behavior?
Yeah, we have been tracking and studying this space for a few years now, and we've been lucky enough to work with the top players in the industry in the region here and also abroad. And we can start probably with what everyone knows, that esports fans are see the audience skews younger. They're more likely to be employed full time. They're more likely to be or to hold a college degree. Also more likely to fall within higher income brackets, and that's all something we know for sure now. Other things like for example, engagement with sponsors. This is something that we've been studying recently, and a lot in depth analysis has been done, and we can tell that they see sponsors as an essential part of their growth or the growth of their space. They have a very favorable view towards sponsors. They also see they're more likely to try or seek information about sponsored products. They're more likely to prioritize, in fact, sponsored products, which is something that's very positive for the industry as a whole and also for brands trying to enter that space. However, we've also come to learn that not all esports fans are the same. The profiles of fans are different for different gaming titles. Got, for example, League of Legends, for example, is more likely to attract a younger male audience, whereas something like Overwatch, for example, is more likely to have females within its fan profile. So all these things show us that while esports fans are deeply engaged, they're also brand specific, and brands need to really strike the balance in strategy and in planning in order to be effective in this space.
Okay, and what about kind of where influencers and then streamers come into this? Kind of where's the value there, and how do you actually measure the value that they're adding to the industry?
I think there's plenty of value. Influencers and streamers are an integral part of the space right now, and where there is a good followership base, where there is reach, where there is brand visibility, there's obviously value. For us at Nielsen, for us to calculate value, we need to understand where the value is coming from and who is receiving it, who is generating and who's receiving. And online right now, there are millions of hours of content for esports that all includes brand visibility. But for us, we need to understand that there needs to be some sort of agreement, because we're tracking a specific partnership between an influencer and a right holder where brands benefit. So for us, for example, Kim Kardashian the other day, for example, posted a picture of her son wearing Al Nassr jersey, and it had brand visibility, and that was to her 360 million Instagram followers. So we're talking about thousands of dollars of value there. But was that guaranteed as part of the brand partnership with the club? Probably not. But if it was, then that's value. But if it isn't, it just goes to prove that there are so many value potential in a brand partnership with a club like Al Nassr today. It's just a great case study. But for us, value needs to start somewhere and go towards someone.
Okay, excellent. And that probably segues quite well into you, Benny, and what you do at POGA, because you're using influencers in quite a unique way and have some quite unique partnerships. Maybe to start off with, maybe give us a bit of an overview of what POGA does, because many of the people in the room mightn't have heard of POGA, but how are you kind of forming those partnerships with influencers, and where is the value add for both them and you?
So actually we are doing like a gaming product. It's like a portable gaming case, like a suitcase where the monitor is built in and you have your console set up in it. And what POGA does or shows is, I think it shows quite good like how you can build up a brand with influencers, with the help of influencers. And yeah, maybe the story behind this shows is quite good, because it wasn't a real business case. It was like solving a problem for us. So my partner and me, we both were professional football players, and also we loved gaming. So when we were on the road, like away games, pre-season tournaments and stuff like that, we wanted to have the opportunity on the road or in the hotel to be able to play. So there wasn't a product outside, so we thought it might be cool for us, for our community, to have something to be able to be flexible. So we built this first prototype in like 2018, and rolled it out through our like football friends network, and then it got quite famous like within weeks and months in Germany, in the Bundesliga, in the second Bundesliga. Then it went over to the Premier League, to the big leagues in Europe, like Serie A, like La Liga. And now there's like a lot of celebrities, athletes outside are using the product, and I think they were happy that we solved the problem for them. So they were happy to push it on social media. So we are like all these famous people out there, like athletes and their influencers as well, and celebrities, and pushing the product. So we were very honored that they helped us to build up the brand. But I think they did it because we solved the problem for them, and of course, I think we try to give them a good service.
Okay, excellent. Do almost the teams themselves kind of like the fact that your product is amongst their players, because it's almost a recovery tool for them? Keeps them kind of in their hotel rooms.
Well, in the beginning, I think some of them thought this might be helpful might not be helpful for them. But I think they understand that they need quality time. They need to be happy, the athletes. And especially in the Corona time, it was so hard for them to be together, to communicate together, to do something together. So with POGA, I think they were able to communicate, to play together, to do like team things. Though I think the teams understand that this is helpful because they need quality time. And meanwhile, for all these celebrities, it's quite hard to go outside. So they cannot have this quality time in cafes and restaurants like maybe we did 10 years, 15 years ago. So because of social media, it's sometimes not a good thing. They are always like visible. So for them, it's also good because of this to connect and be together.
Okay, excellent. And obviously your traditional product is a console based product, but with the rise of mobile gaming and cloud gaming, how are you looking to adapt your business model to ensure you can kind of capitalize on this market?
Yeah. So I think when we talk about mobile gaming and cloud gaming, it's about flexibility. So we at POGA think that our product stands for flexibility as well. So we think with cloud gaming and with mobile gaming, our product will be even more flexible. So at the moment, we are doing this for the devices, like for the consoles, for PlayStation, Xbox. And with cloud gaming, you will be more flexible because you just need a Fire Stick or whatever, and just an internet connection. So you'll be more flexible device-wise, but also you will have more place in the case to put like accessories in it. And I think another good thing is that like the price point will get lower or cheaper. So it's even more there for the younger generation. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And I guess at POGA, you also do a number of other activities kind of within the community to kind of obviously promote the product, but also support community. Can you maybe talk through that a little bit about what you're doing there?
Sure. I guess we're doing like a lot of activities in like schools, clubs, social institutions. So we think that on the one side, it's very important to give like the younger generation, and especially the young generation who maybe don't have the opportunity for gaming because they don't have the money. So we give them access to it, and of course be able to educate them, because like it's in life, everything is about balance. So to educate them what is good in gaming, what's bad in gaming, it's about balancing. And of course, also it's really nice to see and to bring them together, because like even in Corona, it was so much like only gaming was online, you know? And nowadays, like we have this thing that like LAN parties getting more and more attractive again. So with POGA, we can bring people together. But I think this is a really nice thing for us.
Excellent. All right, and then at the center of all this booming gaming is obviously the athlete. So Abdulaziz, you've obviously had some great success as an athlete in the gaming world, and you are now ambassador of Adidas, who is making some significant investments in the apparel and footwear kind of part of the gaming industry. Can you maybe give us some insights to kind of why Adidas has made this strategic shift to kind of support gaming, and maybe kind of how they're kind of adapting their product to meet the preferences of gamers?
Okay, first of all, I would like to welcome everyone here, and also to my teammates, I would say, and to you, of course. Definitely, Adidas is investing a lot on esports nowadays, through the athletes, through the partnerships, through the sponsorships. So Adidas is focusing on esports and trying to do so many activities in this field, I would say. Adidas definitely want to make a huge difference in this category, because esports is probably one of the biggest market in the world right now, and we can see that through the views, through the competitions, through the tournaments, through the athletes also. So why not we dig into that deeper, and through the athletes we do something, I would say, a little bit new, because now we can incorporate the esports to the football. For example, now we have activity called Run for the Ocean, and this activity is all about if you run 1 kilometer, yeah, one battle from the ocean will be removed. And this is something good that Adidas is trying to do that. Not only through football athletes, but also through the esports athletes. And that's what we are trying to do with Adidas. Also, we have so many tournaments. We have so many events to play on. Also, the streaming platform is very important because when we do these kind of things incorporate with Adidas and also the other platforms of streaming, we can definitely make a huge difference in that.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I love the fact that Adidas are kind of branding, athletes in their apparel. And I still remember from a traditional sports side when I worked on the London Olympics, Adidas was the clothing sponsor, and I've still got my Games Maker shoes, which they released then, and it's kind of almost you see people out in the community wearing them, and you know that they were at that particular event. And I'm sure kind of Adidas might bring that kind of brand into to gaming. Obviously, you grew up in Saudi. You've been gaming for probably your whole life now. We are going through a boom as such in esports, and there's been a lot of significant events within the region. The announcement of the Esports World Cup, so it's very exciting times. Do you feel like this is the boom in gaming, or are we still on a journey of growth within gaming?
Oh, definitely. Saudi is focusing a lot on esports nowadays by hosting these huge events, because in 2023 only, we had the World Cup for almost every huge game. EAFC, for example, FIFA, eFootball, League of Legends, Dota, all these big games are here in Saudi, and they have the biggest tournaments and the biggest prize pool. So Saudi Arabia is changing a lot on esports because we believe that this is the time that we can make this, I would say, this sport, which is esport, even bigger, not only in this region but throughout the whole world. And for the next year, Saudi Arabia will host the biggest tournament of the world in almost every major big game in the gaming industry. So focusing on the tournaments, focusing on the athletes, also focusing on the players. This definitely will be, I would say, the new home for esports in the world. Because before, some years ago, we can only see that Europe or USA are hosting these big events. But now we can see the World Cup here in Saudi, and they are sometimes also in Jeddah, and that's something huge and definitely will make this industry even bigger.
Yeah, very, very exciting times for the industry and the region. Now, with the increase in events, more money on the line for athletes, does there ever need for athletes from a gaming perspective to become more professional? How is the modern day esports athlete evolving, both from almost a player and athlete perspective, but also from a commercial perspective as well?
Okay, regarding the athletes, some years ago, we wouldn't believe that someone would definitely invest a lot of time on playing video game to travel the world to play a video game as a job. But now we can see that very clearly with the sponsors like Adidas, like Red Bull, like another sponsors. Of course, this sport will even be bigger. And the athletes are the center of this. The athlete will have to be ready in mental shape and physical shape also. Of course, he can use his power in the game, his skills in the game, but outside of that, he has to be at the best of his level, his mental level, because the game is all about the mental side. But you cannot be good mentally if you are not physically also ready. So these things are very important. Also, the athletes are more responsible now because they have to provide the highest quality of themselves for being streaming, for example, for making YouTube videos, for attending huge events like this one, speaking, talking about the passion of the gaming. You have to, I would say, market yourself. And that's the responsibility that each athlete or esports athlete has to do at the end of the day.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And I guess to wrap up, final comments, where is the industry going to go to from here? We're obviously on this growth. Abdulaziz, any final comments before we wrap up?
I would like to thank you so much, Chris. It was so much fun to be with you all, guys. And I enjoyed it really so much. And hopefully maybe next time.
Excellent. Thank you. Karim, any final comments?
I think we'll hopefully go from strength to strength and see the expansion, especially in the region here. We've seen it over the last 3-4 years, and we feel like every year it's getting bigger. So hopefully on to bigger things, and we'll see how we can help the industry.
Excellent. Benny?
Sure. I'm super excited for the region to give the esports community like an even better structure, and I think it's a really huge opportunity for the whole industry, and obviously like to learn from each other, to help each other. So I'm really excited.
Excellent. Very, very good. Exciting times ahead. Thank you very much for joining us here today, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the summit. Thank you.